All right, good morning, everybody. So yes, it's been a while since we've ran one of these, but that's just because I was away for basically 6.5, 7 days. And then after that, I came home on Monday from Major 2, and as you guys can all tell, I'm in a different room. So I had to move rooms from my other room to this room because we got a new roommate. So for the last 2 days, I've been trying to like get all of this organized and situated, and you know, it looks pretty cool. Honestly, I think this is my favorite room yet. I don't really know exactly what we're gonna do for this episode of the show, in the sense like I don't want to watch like every match back of this major. I'll watch some of the finals back. I'll answer some questions about our team. They're pretty self-explanatory answers, but we'll get there, and then we'll kind of watch some LAG stuff, I guess, and tip them and just talk about stuff. We're just gonna recap the major, I guess, is what we'll do. So the Asim thing to start off, like someone asked me if I discovered Asim. I didn't discover Asim. I basically, this story, I've said this story so many times. Basically how like, the pro world found Asim was just through Asim playing in my sub tournaments. Like literally like right now how we stream every day. Back in like I would say Black Ops 3, I think it was. I used to get like, 40, 50 viewers. And like every Sunday, I think I used to run like a 2v2 S&D, like S&D subscribers tournament. S&D was really big back in the day. So literally, Asim was a subscriber to my stream. Like he would just watch, say what up. He subbed to the stream and all that stuff. And I started running these sub tournaments, and this guy Asim in Black Ops 3 was just like raining fucking hell on all my subscribers in sub tournaments, to the point where like I would watch these sub tournaments and like watch and be like, this guy's not just good. You know what I mean? Like it was not like this guy's just winning sub tournaments. Like I was like watching him like, this kid is not just good, he's like actually good. Like you could see that he had the gun skill and the movement and like the game sense of like a pro player, to the point where it was like, holy shit, this kid's actually really, really good. When we met him from there, like I would like talk to him. He was a really cool kid. If you guys know Asim, he's like the nicest human being ever. He still was back then. And we started playing like wagers together, and then he became friends with like myself, and then like all my friends, like RJ and Zuma and JCap, and like everybody that was like hanging out in that TeamSpeak back in the day. And then from there, he became super close with us. Then he was too young to play at the time, and then he turned 18, and Zuma gave him his chance like with the whole FaZe run, and then after that, he's been in the league. But like literally, yeah, like we discovered him as like a subscriber in my chat who was just playing subscriber tournaments. He was disgusting. He started playing with us because of how good he was. Then he ended up being like one of the nicest kids ever. Then we started playing with him more, and then like go a couple of years down the line, and now here he is. It's pretty fucking nuts, dude. It is pretty nuts. Like what, like his just career in general, like where it stemmed from. But yeah, he's the man. He seems like one of the nicest people like I know like in the world, and so to see him like do really well is like really cool. So I'm super happy for him. But that's basically how we in a sense we discovered him. But basically he did all the work himself though. At the end of the day, he was just so good at COD and such a good dude. I know Zuma said he got teary-eyed when LAG won Sunday. Yeah, I mean I didn't get like teary-eyed when they won, obviously, because I was also really frustrated on everything that was going on like on my side of things with my team. Like we were playing so poorly. But after the event, I saw Asim in the casino like later that night. Like I was going to get my food, and I saw Asim, and like we had like a long talk. And then I was, that's like where I kind of felt that those emotions, like when when we had like a long talk after, dude. I've never like, I didn't even realize, because how good Asim is at Call of Duty, that was like his first championship. And like he was like, just explaining to me like how he felt like for like winning the feeling of winning. And if you guys, I'm telling you, man, like I know we're talking a lot about him right now, but if you just know Asim as a person, winning is one thing, but winning when you put like your heart and fucking soul into trying to win is like the nicest feeling like ever. And like dude, he puts in so much time and effort into Call of Duty that no one really sees. And so like, yeah, he was just having like, the whole, like he was just breaking it down about how he felt. It was pretty fucking awesome, dude. All right, so we can watch the first one. So hold up. Let's see. We'll bounce here. So these are the vetoes. So these were the vetoes of the series. So Hardpoint, Berlin, and Gavutu. We got rid of Berlin against them. They played Berlin against us pretty well last time we played them. So we were like, screw that. We've looked good in Berlin, but a lot of the teams that we played this event were just good at Berlin too. So it was like, screw that. They got rid of Gavutu, which makes total sense. If we play Tuscan Hardpoint and Bocage Hardpoint every series, I think we're pretty happy with that. So these maps didn't bother us. SNDs, we've been working on our SND. And some of it looks good and some of it looks terrible. So like these SNDs looked good for us. There's a lot that we have to talk about with FaZe's SND that just needs to get better in general so we can actually start winning them. But just, you know, in a map sense, they looked good. And then Gavutu control, what did we go, 2-1 in Gavutu control? We've gotten better at this map as well with all the reps that we keep putting in over and over and over again. So eventually, like, we're going to keep getting it down. Like, we're making steps forward as a team. We're just not making, you know, we're not making it all complete. Obviously, it's a long season and there's a lot for us to work on and talk about still. But, yeah. Okay. So, all right. That was basically the videos. I don't think anyone really disagreed with these, right? Like, you guys didn't see anything crazy. I feel like these were I feel like if you were just watching this and you're like a diehard Call of Duty fan, you can kind of just like know this was coming. You know what I mean? Make Berlin a daytime map. That would be cool. That'd actually be really cool. This game can't be saved. I really don't think this game is as bad as people make it out to be, man. Like, I know there's some stuff that's like super annoying about it, bro, but I don't know. It's really not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm, for some weird reason, actually don't mind this game. I don't play it enough at a pro level to be as frustrated as some of the pros, but I want to start playing it more. Like, I'm gonna start playing those S&D 8s. I want to start playing Pro 8s too. Yo, Zinni told me he played Pro 8s. That's a completely off the side. He said he'd pick me in Pro 8s if we played. But yeah. Okay, so those are the videos. There's nothing too crazy, right? Nothing else. I'm not missing anything before we move on. Okay, so we can go to map 1. So this was fucking crazy, dude. So this map 1, we had the whole reset. Like, we start off really hot, and then they start off, and then like we get all these kills. I'm pretty sure. Is it right here? It's right here, right? Hold up. Watch Max Arrow. Watch Max Arrow really quick. When does this actually happen? Does it happen while he's moving? So obviously he's moving right now, but then so he must have already thrown up. So I don't know when he ended up throwing up, but he threw up on stage, and he was really sick. If you guys can obviously kind of see his face like in the camera, I'm pretty sure like after the like, you know, he comes back in and plays, he was really sick. And they came up to us, and like I don't even know what the ruling is for this because it's not a lag out, and like the server didn't go down, and like it wasn't like an issue that like was like, you know, it was like obviously a player's health. So I don't even know like what the ruling was for this, but they came up to me at first and they were like, we're obviously gonna end the map and replay it, and are you cool with that? And I was just like, I didn't even know what happened at the time. So at first I was pissed. I thought like the server went down, and then he was and I was like, yeah, what happened? And then they told me about Mac, and I was like, oh shit, like I didn't even realize it was that bad, kind of thing, you know. Yeah, like make sure he's all good. Like take your time. You know what I mean? Like take your time. Whatever you do, don't bring fucking Nicky D in, dude. Right? Yeah. Like, so obviously I told him like just to make sure he was all good and stuff. And like I talked to Sam Phoenix a bunch during this series and like just to make sure he was all good. And they kind of like gave him time. But yeah, basically for this series, if you guys didn't know, Mac was throwing up. Apparently, like right around now, he was like throwing up. And like on stage, and like this like whole entire sequence like got cut to an end. At least like it was a tie game. I know Pred had streaks, and we had like full side of spawns, so it's like we would have got initial time. They might have used streaks to break it, so at least it was a tie game where neither team was like really close to like, you know, winning or just dominating the other team. But it was pretty freaking wild when I heard it. And for the cold or stomach virus, I don't know. I think it was like a stomach bug because like Simp had the same thing a week before. They don't live in the same state, and then like 2 other pros had the same thing too. Like I don't know. I feel like every pro was getting like some weird stomach bug. So like I think it was just like a stomach bug just going around in general. I have no idea. But he felt like shit apparently, and like they obviously wanted to make sure he was all good. So like this map comes to an end here, and then we restart. And then let's see. I'm back all the way here. This was like a pretty long delay, right? Holy cow, it was. So then we restart and we don't start off hot. Still 14 and 18, even though he's about to puke on stage. That's impressive. I mean, he ended up dropping 50, I'm pretty sure, in the Bocage, right? So then we like replay this map. We can go like to the turning point here. Here we go. Right here. We can watch this listening first.
They will have a slim lead coming into the second side of rotation. That's about to change. Let's go and step aside and see how the comms are sounding. As we said, a fluke game right now for Mac. Let's see how that affects the comms of the Seattle Surge.
Back off weak. He's on. He ran.
You ran their side?
Yeah. I think thick, okay? Right here. He can flank medallion. I'm medallion.
Fire tree, cell one. Fire tree, cell weak.
Weak under broken.
Fire tree, cell. Outer dead.
Nice.
Our wall and our con. Too old. What's it?
Dead.
Nice, dude. Last guy was old.
I don't know where he is. I'm nading outer, Dante.
I'm nading over.
I naded outer. He's got it. Archon, absolutely. I slid. He's Archon one shot still, and Alex dick.
They're dick sim. One shot.
Alex dead too. Let's go right. Come on.
Shout me a close wall, cell.
I'm trying to get a kill P5.
Yeah. I'm going mid.
They're curve wall and one outer P1.
I hit 2 plat.
Okay, there's 2 ult.
Oh, he's
One
starting
church.
plat.
Top church.
One shot.
One stop church on me, one's old.
I
Okay?
spawned in the back.
I got the guy old.
I'm going to the back right now. Alex in the back.
Windows, cell, windows. Windows in.
I don't know where he is on top.
Break the hill. They're spawning back probably.
He could be back alley. I think he's back alley.
Yeah, he went back alley. I don't see him.
I don't know about you, Jay, but it sounds like everybody's good. I feel like Mac was one of the
So,
players throughout the
first of all, I just want to say this loud and clear for everyone that watches this show, because we've had this conversation on this show a couple times now. Everybody that has been saying that Mac needs to fucking get dropped is fucking stupid. Just want to make that very loud and clear. Like, we had this conversation. There was a lot of people in this chat that were saying that Mac needs to go, like in general, probably like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then everyone, then Mac does this and he plays really well. Like, it has nothing to do with this series specifically. It's just like, this kid, on top of being like good at the game, I don't care about his talent at all. Like, I feel like Mac makes the right play on the map. I think Mac makes the right play on the map like 9 out of 10 times. And Asim, who I will take Asim's word almost over most people in this community, teamed with him and said that he was probably one of the best teammates you can ask for. So not only is he a good teammate, but also on top of it, like, he actually goes the right way a lot of the times. And if you watch his arrow and stuff too, if you actually watch the Seattle team play, you can see that Mac doesn't make too many like just mechanical mistakes and like where he should go at the right times and stuff. And so yeah, and for people that were saying Mac is bad, I hope they changed their opinion after this event, even though they ended up not doing as well and he was sick. But like, just in general, he is a very good player, and it has nothing to do with his skill, talent, stats. I don't give a shit about that. Just like just more than that. Like, I don't know. I want to make that very clear, because there was a lot of people in this chat that were saying stupid shit about Mac, and that's just silly. But anyway, continuing, like, moving on. So that was like the turning point of the game for us to like go up, and then they bring it back here. It just like we had that really good P1 rotation, which like kind of saves us, and like it like gives us that like gives us a moment of time to go ahead. I want to see how Mac spawns behind us here. Huh. So Mac must have spawned behind us here because P1 ended. Like, I don't really know. I actually didn't notice this during the match because I was so fucking zoned into the map. Like, I want to see something. Sorry, I'm doing this for my own. I guess like since he's so far pushed, I don't know. That's actually kind of wild. I don't know. I actually can't explain to you this spawn point. Because we had someone like more towards the back. I guess like he was not in the back enough to block it. Usually like you have someone back here. So I guess like we got a little ahead of ourselves on that. I mean, that's kind of tough. I think that was really bad timing. Like, I think the way we played this was actually pretty good. Like, I think it was just unfortunate. Like, we go to rotate to help the new. Right here. Like, I guess number 4 could stay in the back more. But I don't know. Like, it was just tough because, like, we have, like, the front pushed out far and the side pushed out. So I guess, like, I don't know. This was a pretty bad spawn. I didn't even realize that this is how he got behind us. And again, I was fucking zoned in, dude. Great, huh. Okay. Yeah, that sucks. But Again, even with this being said, I'm also not a big fan of like using this as an excuse. Like it's just like, it is what it is. Like you can't control shit like that as much as you can. So let's see. I want to see how this plays out. But yeah, so like their listening sounded good for the most part, even though he was sick. Like he was doing his job. Like they were all calling out for the most part. They had some pretty good comms. I didn't mind any of their communication, like at all. Even here with that bad spawn, like right here, we should break this. It's a 3-on-1 in the hill. Like this should be a break. Yeah, we just moved too slow right there. And it's a 1-on-1 here. That was a pretty bad chow. But yeah, so we don't break this one. We should honestly, even with that spawn being there, we just moved too slow. Like we should have broken that anyway. So like to use that as an excuse is obviously a fair complaint that spawn was kind of stupid, but we obviously bounced right back and then ended up making a mistake on our own. Like this is the weird part about Vanguard is how perfect you have to be, because sometimes the game hands you like sometimes the game hands you a situation and it's just like you were screwed unless you were literally perfect. So like Vanguard's all about like perfecting the game as much as possible, because if you don't and you make a mistake and the game decides to screw you, it can really hurt you. Like it still no excuse to lose and shit. We don't lose this map, but that's just my opinion on stuff. Like things that you can't control, you can't complain about like as much. Like obviously you can complain to the right people, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that like we also did wrong there that made that spawn even more important than it had to be. It shouldn't be a thing, duh. But all right, so I know Seattle brings this back, and they bring this back on this P3. So they get that P2, and then they string together this P3 really well. And it just sucks that we weren't able to recover from there. And then we get the P3 here, and now like we're just in a situation where it's like we're kind of having to break the P4 too. So that kind of put us like on our back foot. And then like skipping forward, we break through here, and then we end up having a pretty decent P5, and we win. I'm pretty sure MC gets like a 2-piece right here, right? Yeah, 1, 2, yeah. Slide in the hill! And then we win this. So yeah. This was a pretty crazy map. I'm happy at least on the replay that like we ended up going down and then bringing it back, and like it was an even map when the replay happened. So it made me feel a little bit better. That replay obviously sucked, but and I'm happy that Mac ended up being able to finish the series. So that was obviously map 1. And then here's like what basically a lot of FaZe fans kind of probably want to talk about is our SND. But yeah, thoughts on the Volk? I don't know. What's your thoughts on the Volk? Yo, Joe Deceives, by the way, I appreciate that tier 1. And then Rexy, thank you very much for the 18 months. I don't have my alerts on, guys, for this show. You guys know that, but I appreciate you guys. Is the Volk G8 already? I haven't even kept up with it. Is the Volk G8 already? Is it gone? Is the Volk actually gone already? I have like, is that official? I haven't even looked. I think it looks really good on Tuscan. I don't really mind the Volk, personally, in the sense of GAing the gun. I don't know. Like, it's cool to see, like, a third gun meta. Like, maybe if you wanted to, like, limit it where, like, only one person can use it would be cool. But I don't know. Like, I don't really... Part being a Nicky D with the weapons. Zinni said he wants it gone. I don't know. I would, like, my thing with the Volk is I would love to, like, actually test the weapon or have someone that does those weapon testings to test it to see, like, how fast it actually kills compared to other guns and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The thing with that gun that makes it so good from what I saw and, like, when I used it a little bit, like, honestly, I was, like, shooting bots in the back with the team, just, like, kind of messing around. The strafe of that weapon is what makes it really good. And so like what I mean by that is like you can aim in and walk like while aimed in, and like your left to right strafe off the slide cancel specifically too is really, really, really powerful. So like it kind of eliminates the SMG in the sense where it's almost better up close than an SMG if you're aimed in already, and like you don't really lose too much time because of it. But at the same time, like the SMG will always run faster and rotate faster, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's actually true with the stats, but I'm pretty sure like you'll always end up being faster and more aggressive naturally with an SMG because you have to. So like having an SMG in the map will always be really important. So like I don't know if the Volk needs to be GA'd like fully. Maybe like, you know, leave one of them like per team would be pretty cool. like one person spawns in with it at most. But then again, like I don't know, like I don't really have any say in the GAs, and nor do I talk to anyone in the GA chat. But I would love to get the gun actually tested to see like how much better it is than a sub up close and or an auto up close and then like at far range and stuff too. So do you know what I mean? I would love to actually see the difference. Like I just want to see it because like it would just be crazy. Oh my God, we just got a 1,300 viewer host from Merc himself. Everyone show some love to Joey D. I love you. Thank you very much, Joe. I appreciate it. Thank you everyone from Merc stream. Welcome. We're doing the morning crowd just like breakdown right now, talking about some stuff. Why not veto a map that Seattle's undefeated on? Well, because the one time we played this team on this map, actually both times. Did we play them twice on this map? I don't even know if we played them a second time now. We lost round 11 that we probably should have won, but they got a 2 and then oh no, we played them twice on this map. The last time we lost round 11 on this map, we got 10 first bloods out of 11 rounds and we lost 5-6. Like, and if you're asking me, in my opinion, if you get 10 first bloods and you lose 11 and you lose like 5-6 round 11, you played the map better. You didn't clutch up when it matters, and that's still an issue. Like, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda kind of thing. But like, that doesn't mean you just got outplayed on this map. You know what I mean? Just because they're undefeated does not mean that you got outplayed on this map to the point where it was like, whoa, like you can't handle these guys. You know what I mean? So it's like, we didn't really want to play Bocage too much this event because like we were just kind of, ever since that bomb switch, it kind of made us like feel weird on it until we get more practice on it. So it was like, why play a map that we're uncomfortable with on a map that we probably should have beat these guys on already? That's kind of like how we viewed it, you know? Like last time we probably should have won this, we didn't, but that doesn't mean we get back, we like kind of back away from the map because we lost it round 11 with 10 first bloods. Obviously that's a major issue that we got 10 first bloods and lost. That's a whole nother thing to, you know, kind of analyze and look at, but that's the reason why we didn't veto that. But yeah, so with the Volk being G8 and stuff, I don't know. Like, I don't really care. I kind of like seeing a new gun, but at the same time, I would love to have the gun actually tested before it gets like kind of kicked out, you know? Because it'd be so funny if that gun did get like, you know, tested and it wasn't that good, but I actually don't think that would be the case. It looked like it was kind of frying, especially with the headshot multiplier, so we'd see. But I don't know. That's really on the players. It was cool to see new guns, like kind of just being like a spectator. I wish we didn't see a new gun in the middle of an event because that kind of threw everything for a loop, but still, we'll see. I'm kind of curious to see what they do. The more I learn about it, by the way, the more I'll be transparent with you guys as well, too. You know, like the more like I learn about the gun and the GA and stuff, I'll tell you guys, obviously, in the future streams and stuff. So we'll see. I've been using it with Fries. No, I was using it like and just like kind of warming up with it. It's definitely insane, but like I would love to see like it actually tested to see. Just like be like 100% sure. But just the strafe and the mobility of it is also like really crazy. So yeah, this search and destroy. I know you guys are gonna have a lot to talk about with Atlanta FaZe's search and why we're so fucking bad at it. But if you skip through this, we go up 3-0 and like we're playing like really good search and destroy here. And then like right after this is like where we kind of like break down and just start messing up in the, what's it called? We start messing up like just a bunch of stuff with it. Like, it just sucks that our search looks so bad considering we do put a lot of time and effort into it, but not on the right things. And there's just like a lot of stuff that goes wrong after we go up 3-0. And I'm pretty sure we do the same thing in Berlin. We go up like 4-1, I want to say. But like, we just need to start being more decisive in our rounds. And a lot of that, in my opinion, just being genuinely honest with you guys, comes from being comfortable in the game mode as an individual. Like, I think we're pretty good. I think we've been pretty good at search in the sense of getting our bloods and doing what we need to do. I don't even know the statistics of it. I'm sure, like, we can go look at them if we wanted to. But I'm just saying, like, playing it, like, just off the top of my head right now. Like, we're good at, like, the basics of search and destroy, but, like, we're not good at the game mode as individuals anymore. Like, comfortable, not good. Not saying not good is the wrong wording of that. We're not comfortable enough as individuals to, like, to make our own play. And, like, there's just a lot of stuff that, like, you see with our team right now that we're getting, like, a blood or two, and then like we're making some really stupid decisions after. And I think a lot of that is like those situations where, again, you can't really coach situations like that because, you know, every round is different in S&D for the most part. Like when you're 2v2s, your 2v1s, your 3v2s, your 2v3s, your 3v4s, your 4v3s, like all those rounds become reading the other team and knowing what to do, and like so many other situations that are hard to like really like coach and practice in that sense. So it's like more or less like becoming super comfortable with the game mode and putting just more effort into the game mode as an individual that helps you out in those situations a lot. Like there was a lot of times there was a lot of times where, you know, we could have like just closed out games in search and we didn't, and it was just because of like the decision that we made just didn't make any sense. And like even when I used to play Call of Duty as a pro, like a lot of the teams that I was on when we were good at search, like it wasn't because we were good at search as a team always, it was just because we had good search players making good decisions. And we have good search players. I just think like in this game the decision making that we make is a little off, and we just have to get better at those mid-game decisions and adjustments to get better. And that's why in my opinion, well, this is actually, I could just say this. You're gonna see us improve in this game mode a lot throughout the future of this game and become more of a complete team with more effort and more time. We had a very long talk after the event of like what went wrong. There's a lot of stuff that went wrong. There's a lot of stuff that went right. But mainly making sure that we're on top of our game as individuals, as you know, outside of practice and stuff, is going to be like a really big focus. Just like to be even better than we can be. Because right now, like our search was way too weak, and it wasn't something where we're not practicing search. It was just like other stuff that like really needs to be fixed and like fixed immediately. So we have some time off to work on it, and we're going to. But that was just kind of the like you see us go up 3-0, and like we have this game plan, and then like later into the rounds, like our game plan just kind of goes to shit because like it just doesn't look comfortable. Like even like you see like a 2-2 split here, it just looks like kind of weird. Like it doesn't look like we were making like comfortable calls anymore. And then like this game just slips away, and then like as you kind of go on, we just lose. Like, no, you should never start up 3-0 and like get these first bloods and like choke these rounds that we were. And it's just like, in my opinion, the mid-game decisions need to be better. And the best way you get better at mid-game decisions is by playing the game more, period. So I definitely think there's a lot to learn there, and there's a lot to learn from it. It sucks that like we've kind of gone to 2 majors and we've had like, you know, an incompleteness in our game, and that's led to us getting second place twice now, which is really fucking annoying. But at the end of the day, like you have to kind of, you know, keep pushing through some of the mistakes that you're making and keep getting better. Like there was a huge upgrade in some stuff of our gameplay, and then a big downgrade in some others. So, this control was really good though. So this control was great. We have this first offense. We end up losing it, but like when we lost this offense, I want to say this was, hold up. Yeah, like we lose this offense. We probably should have won this if we didn't. We could have played this a little bit smarter. But we end up like losing this, and we have 1 tick on B. If you get 1 tick on B and you lose, like it's not the end of the world on an offense the way it goes by ticks. So like even though it sucks, like this could have been our win, it still like looked like decent. So then after this, we knew that Seattle was like not the best control team for Gavutu, and then we're able to kind of just coast and win. And then once we win that second round, it's kind of over. Like, you know, us winning a fucking control 3-1 was really big for us. You know, that was especially considering like this map was obviously a big focus for us in the major 2 qualifiers to make sure we can play both controls. This kind of like helped us out a lot. So being able to play this map, what like helps us out and like kind of gets us through some of these series to even get to the finals. And then we kind of went from there. So that was good. Unfortunately, we lost in the final, but we're getting better. 1 second. How did the team perform in your honest opinion? Would you have liked to see them rotate earlier in some maps? Our hardpoint had nothing to do with us losing. Well, our hardpoint was completely fine. There was a few mistakes that like we definitely made in hardpoint, but like for the most part, if I remember correctly, in the finals we went 1-1 in hardpoint and 1-1 in control. We definitely needed that. The way we played that Tuscan was bad, but I think like just in general, our hardpoint had nothing to do. Like you can't go 0-3 in search and expect to win an event. Like, I think if we get to that Bocage Hardpoint in that final, I think we could have forced the map 9, but we went 0-3 in search and destroy, and we went 0-3 in search and destroy. Like, our hardpoint is always going to be our focus, and always going to, obviously, we're scrimming it every single day. But the way we played our hardpoints, and I'll tell you why I knew we were going to lose this map, by the way, for the most part, was pretty good. Obviously, we weren't perfect in hardpoint, but we still are able to win most of the hardpoints to play. S&D was the difference. So, like, I'm not going to focus on rotational times for one map and one thing. Like, we have some other stuff to focus on, in my opinion. S&D wins championships. I hate that statement, dude. Like, yes, it wins championships, but everything wins championships. Being a complete team wins championships. Hamgate, thank you very much for the 24 months. I appreciate you very, very much. Like, if you lose all 3 respawns, S&D doesn't win you anything because you don't get to game 5. Like, everything wins you. Being a complete team wins you championships. But I will say one thing. search and destroy in a best of 9, obviously being all 4 searches are in and only 3 hard points and 2 controls, like technically it's the most important game mode, so you're correct, but like S&D wins you championships, yes, but like if you don't, like, bro, if we went 0-2 on hardpoint, everything wins you championships. Just being a complete team. Like, you can't only focus on one game mode because it wins you championships, because you have to win everything. Like, it's just what it is. Like, LAG won 3 searches, but they also won 2 respawns. So it's just like, that's kind of like what I mean by that. Like, I don't know. I just think like it just comes down to not just S&D, but just everything. But definitely, like, we have to be a complete team. And if you ask me, you watched an incomplete Atlanta FaZe play at a major in the way we were playing our searches, and that's just unacceptable. And again, we have been practicing search, but we're just not as good as we need to be at it. And I think I kind of just already answered the question, but like, yeah, I think we just need to keep getting better at that game mode as individuals too. And that's just what it is. Like, S&D wins championships as well as hardpoint as well as control. All right. So yeah, this right here, by the way, this is what I'll tell you exactly when I had a feeling we were gonna lose. So right here, we're up 2-1. We got Bocage. I'm fucking confident as hell. We looked really good in the Gavutu. We're looking pretty well. You know, we won a hard point. We won that. I was kind of annoyed by our search and destroy play. This is right here. I'll tell you exactly when I had a feeling we were gonna lose. Because first of all, by the way, Seattle's a very good Bocage team. Yes, we're undefeated on it. Yes, we have the best record on it. Seattle is not a team that you play Bocage against and be like, oh, we're gonna fucking swoop. You know what I mean? You know, like throw them like off the fucking. We're like, you don't just run over Seattle on this map ever. No matter how bad they look, you never run over this team. This is when I thought, right here, was when I had a feeling we were gonna lose. I know this sounds insane. I watched my team play a lot of Call of Duty for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours a day. Right here is when I thought we were gonna lose. I know this sounds fucking nuts, but I literally looked to RJ and I go, yeah, it's one of those maps. Right here. This is like, we have no fucking, like, bro, we have like all the kills. It was one of those things like where we had all those kills and like, we're just getting no time. I don't know. Like all these plays and stuff, like I could just tell this was going to be a weird map. Like this play right here specifically, watching MC do it, I'm not blaming MC. This is not like me saying like, oh, Celium costed the game. I could just tell by watching them play like this was going to be a weird fucking map really quick, just because like the way this like whole entire like situation plays out. Bro, it's a 5-2 game. It's a 5-2 game, and he's been alive in the top of their base forever, and like it's just like so unlike him, and like he got into a weird situation and plays it, and then the rest of the team gets it. It was just weird, dude. And then right here, I literally looked at RJ, and RJ looked at me, and I was like, it's going to be one of those maps, huh? And that's exactly what it was. Just like a lot of like scatteredness and unorganized play. Like for the whole entire Bocage. I know we don't get smoked here, but for my standards, like I just... When we play like unorganized and scattered is usually when we play our worst. And this just looked like one of those maps that was about to be unorganized and scattered immediately. Shouldn't someone be calling to get time, or I could be wrong? Well, yes, but like at the same time, you know, things don't always go, you know, like as planned. And like even though someone's saying get time, like people might not be able to get time, you know, like that. Like of course you can call to get time. That doesn't mean it's going to be done, right? Like, but there was like this entire map though, just like watching it through was just so many like we didn't get any P1 time and we didn't get spawns, and now we're trying to break it from the front, and like we end up getting this like P3 situation here. And like knowing this map, by the way, this Seattle team's really good at trapping you in the back for P3. And like both of these P3s kind of screw us. Like watch. It's like right here, we're in a pretty good spot to get some time. Just like in general, it's just like we're leaving gaps open. Like it just we let like right here, like I know this is like the only thing else I'll break down like kind of in depth before like we kind of skip through the rest. But like just like look at this exchange between these two. Like I know Abizi's a sub and he's an AR, but just like look at the exchange between these two of like what happens, and like watch. They do a switch which was way too late. The switch was way too late. because like the switch between this, in my opinion, like already we have no one at the front line. So the switch was way too late, and then the switch being late leads to him now, like, you know, getting the left side, but this guy's already through because we leave the gap open, and the switch is late. So now the switch is late, so he pushes up, but now he's gonna get traded immediately, most likely. What, does he get traded? Yeah, he gets killed, and then the Pred gets the 2-piece, and we have no pressure. Number one's here to the left. Like, that's what I was talking about with like the unorganized and scatteredness of just like our gameplay. Like, dude, like we're immediately going to get fucked because of the way we were playing, and like I kind of almost saw that in the first, like in the beginning of the game. It was just one of those things where it just looked like super hesitant to like make the right play, and like we were almost like thinking too much. And then skip forward here, we kind of go down, and then we go up, and then we go down, and then they go up, and then like we'll watch it from like right here. So like this glide bomb you think was going to win us the game. So look, does he ever pop up? So yeah, Pred gets popped up here. So we know the last guy is coming barn. And then like Pred able to get in barn like this. He hops up top barn. We're all in a pretty good spot. Him winning that gunfight was just really big, to be honest. And then him winning his gunfight and then a BZ shooting right here gives his position away. And then like we kind of just get screwed from there. Us getting broken right there was kind of tragic too. As much as I was saying, like, you know, I had a feeling we're going to lose this. It's not like we get, like, smoked on this map. It's just, like, so much fucking time on these P3s and, like, some of these mistakes that we're making. Like, we probably could have closed this game out. And also, Mac is 45 and 26. But just, yeah, there was just so many plays that were just so, like, hesitant to be, like, just to be made the right play, like, without thinking. And then we just, like, kind of get screwed because of it. Even that break right there, like, we kind of all came to a standstill with 3 dead. And, like, as soon as we come to a standstill with 3 dead, it just, like, looked weird. Like, it just, like, again, like, our timings were so hesitant. I know that sounds like fugazi, but it's really not. And then right here, we just lose. Like, even though, like, we don't get it, like, we don't trap them enough and we lose. But, like, dude, Mac plays amazing with the flu. Or, not the flu game that everyone keeps saying. But, like, if he has 50 real kills, which means he probably had 60 EKIA, like, this game being that close, like, more or less, like, leads me to believe that if he has this many untraded kills, it's because of, like, what I was saying before. Like, when we were getting advantage or taking advantage of the map, like, we weren't doing it the correct way of, like, you know, really taking advantage of our kills and letting him get 2 pieces and stuff like that. You know, like, Mac was eating us alive, and it's probably because, like, again, like, a lot of the plays that I showed you, like, I'm pretty sure that play that I actually did show you was Mac getting around through the gap and then ending up getting a 2-piece in the back and, like, and, you know, like, spawn trapping us and shit. Like, that usually happens from, like, you know, no one wins 47 one-on-ones in a row. It's the same thing when one of our players get, like, I'm not taking this away from Mac. Mac played amazing. Mac's an incredible player, like I've been saying. But, like, even when, like, a BZ or Simp or any of them, like, you usually don't have a map like that unless the other team is, like, you know, giving you solo chows, like their teamwork is off, and like you know, you're picking them apart and eating them alive. Like, obviously it's so much easier said than done to just shut that down, you know, duh. But like, yeah, so like he has 50 real kills and this game is still pretty close, and it's because we were playing like fucking idiots and he was obviously making us look like idiots. That's kind of how that goes. So Mac just plays so fucking well and like keeps them in this game, even though, like, you know, if Mac probably doesn't do this, we actually still could have won this, even though I think we play like shit. Like, Mac just played super well. And also, again, very, very impressive considering what we just talked about. Mac was throwing up. And then, yeah, after all this goes down, we lose this. Mac's a fucking beast. I didn't like the way we were playing that from the start, like I kind of said. And then going all the way up, we go 4-1 in S&D. We go 4-1 in S&D, and we kind of make the same exact mistakes that we made. And then, like, from here, like, watch. We have this round 11. Thank God we got offense on round 11, by the way. Bro, that nade landing on himself and him stunning himself, dude, was fucking wild. Did you guys catch that? Look at this grenade. That nade hit that corner and bounced back in. So then he has to run away from his own grenade. And then he throws a stun and it bounces back in as well. And then he stuns himself. If you guys got defense, you would have started off 3v4 info-wise. Yeah, no. Thank God we got offense this round 11. I honestly think if we got defense this round 11, we might have lost. Because, again, I just hate the way we're playing our searches right now in general. And then we win this round 11. So this was obviously really close. This was really close considering the fact that, like, both SNDs kind of pissed me off that we went up 4-1 and 3-0, and then they both, like, went, like, the distance. When you go up 4-1 in SND or 3-0 in SND, like, you have to be able to, like, close it out. Of course, they're going to start winning some rounds, but, like, you can't just, like, let them come back and take a lead on you, like, almost like we did. Because if I remember correctly, we went up 4-1 in this SND, but then we're down 4-5. Like, again, in hindsight, you know, it's like you just never let them fucking win, duh. But it's just, you have to be a good enough S&D team when you actually do take a lead, like a 4-1 lead. You have to be able to, like, you know, get creative and figure it out and, like, you know, actually close out those rounds. I mean, they adapted. That's what I'm saying. If you're a good S&D team, you don't just let teams adapt to you. That's what I'm saying. That's literally my point. Good S&D teams, I mean, if you ask any good S&D player, like, of course, teams are going to be adapting to you and, like, you know, making plays. But, like, you have to be a good enough S&D team to not just do the same thing. Like, if you just let people adapt to you, then, like, that just shows you that you're a stale-ass S&D team. And, again, like, a lot of the mid-game decisions is what we were making mistakes on anyway, to be fair. We were still getting the bloods, but just not in general. So, yeah, we were letting people adapt, which is not just, like, an acceptable thing to, like, just be like, that's all good. They were adapting. Like, you have to be a good enough S&D team. All right. OpTic and Florida match. We're going to do this match, then we're going to talk about the finals. Most impressive thing about Simp. I'll take that question before we go into this match. Most impressive thing about Simp, if you ask me, all four of my players have a lot of impressive qualities of, like, how good they are. You know, the success that they've seen already throughout their years. Pretty young players, and, like, you know, they've seen a lot of success. So they have a lot of interesting, like, all of them do. But speaking about Simp specifically for this question, with how well Simp has played throughout these years, like, obviously he's one of the most successful players already, like, just in general. If there's a lot of people with the success that Simp has had, you guys don't really get to see this again. He doesn't really make too much content. He makes some. He is probably one of the most humble, like, human beings ever. I know that sounds crazy to some of you guys, but I'm saying, like, in the sense of, like, his own gameplay and, like, the dedication he puts into it, like, he works very, very hard, like, on his own. And I'm a big believer / I love the attitude of, like, individual work. You know, like, if you just show up to scrims and get off, which there's a lot of people that do that too, and that works for a lot of people too. There's nothing wrong with that. That's, like, you know, whatever. Simp watches, I think, every single scrim that we take back. And, like, with that being said, like, he watches every single scrim we play back. He watches it back. He talks about it. He's texted me and RJ on the side multiple times about just, like, certain maps, like, what he can do to get better at them. Like, again, when you're, like, a superstar player, usually the superstar player comes with the superstar attitude, I guess, is kind of what I'm getting at. And he has the farthest thing from a superstar attitude in the sense of just, like, the bad qualities of that attitude. You know what I mean? Like, you would think, like, you know, with how good he's played throughout the years and how good he's been, like, you know, he would just kind of be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, shut the fuck up. That's, like, the complete opposite. Like, he has, like, the superstar. He has, like, the superstar mode and gameplay that he does all the time, and how well he is really, like, how good he really is at the game. But he has, like, the attitude of someone who's never won before. And, like, that's, like, very rare to see, in my opinion. Like, very rare to see. Doesn't mean he's perfect. No one's perfect. Like, you know, none of us are perfect. No one in the league is perfect. But, like he has the attitude of someone that's, like, never won before, which is pretty fucking impressive, if you ask me. You don't really get to see that too much. All right. So moving on though. Gavutu, Berlin, Tuscan. So what do we think of these vetoes? So we're gonna do this Florida series. We're gonna run through this pretty quickly, and then we're gonna talk about the LAG stuff, and then we'll be done for the podcast of the day. So yeah, what do we think of what we're seeing here? By the way, if I seem like off right now, I haven't streamed in a little bit. But not even that I haven't streamed in a little bit. This room is like so soundproof. I put like a lot of soundproofing into this room. Like there's like shit on this wall in front of me and stuff. Where like my voice, like it's kind of freaking me out. Kind of freaking me out the way I sound in this room. Like to my own ear. Like I just keep like looking. I'm like fucking freaking me out, dude. I don't know. Not used to this. You're freaking out. All right. Yo, Birmingham. I appreciate the gas. And then Deadfish, I appreciate the prime. I know, obviously, I'm not saying thank you in the middle of this as much. It's just because I don't have alerts on. You guys know that. Okay. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? What do we think of these vetoes? So I saw a lot of people have a lot of criticism to OpTic vetoes. So I'm sure you guys are gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. Deadfish, I appreciate the kind words. What are the subtle details of a pro play that we might miss as watchers? I would say like the routes that they take at the times that they take them is something that like the mini map is your best friend. Like just to give you, before we go into this, just to give you like a quick like analysis of like how I watch Call of Duty. I watch the mini map. I don't even watch the game half the damn time, literally. So a lot of people were complaining about their vetoes. Like, yeah, there was a bunch of people I saw complain about their vetoes. I don't really think this is super crazy, to be honest. They played Gavutu, which makes sense. They played... This is, like, the question mark for them, right? They're obviously not, like, that good, but, like, I don't know, dude. I think when people criticize vetoes, you guys have, like, a map pool. I'm going to bring it up really quick. One second. Sorry, I'm bringing it up really quick. Okay, OpTic, Texas. Let's bring this bad boy up. All right, so you have a map pool like this, right? This is after they played Seattle, so they lost. So, oh wait, hold up. Yeah, so they lost the Tuscan to Seattle, and then they have this map pool. You see a 2-5 on Berlin, and obviously that means they're probably struggling on Berlin in matches. But like that does not mean that that's such a small sample size. Like people don't understand like what their records can be in Berlin to the point where it's like you just don't know. Like, bro, Call of Duty is a very, very not day-to-day game, but a very, very trendy kind of game. And so with Berlin, it's like a very weird thing. Like, you know, their Bocage, right? They played their Bocage versus, was it Seattle? I don't know who it was. But it might have been Bocage versus Seattle, and they lost it. First of all, Seattle's a very good Bocage team, as you guys can see. They beat us too. They're a very good team. They can beat anybody on it. They can, like, so it's like, but it's, Call of Duty is a very trendy game where you could be like, for example, this is not how it was for us, but like, say we're like 9-0. What are we on Bocage in matches? I'm sorry, one second. To give you like a pretty good example. So we're 8-0. So we were 8-0 before we lost that. So you could be 8-0 on a map. And actually, I can give you a very good example from us that doesn't give away strats because the year's over. Moscow last year. Oh, we have it. We have Team Stats Vanguard, Team Stats Cold War. Here we go. This is cool. So Moscow last year. Where is it? Moscow. We were 10-5. So in the beginning of the year, last year in Moscow, we were like 10-1 or like something. We were really good. And people were vetoing Moscow against us because we were very good. But like, it came to a point where like, even though our Moscow looked very good in matches, there was a very big situation where like our Moscow and scrims started looking that good. So even when people were giving us the chance to like choose it, we didn't really want to choose it all the time because like we were trending like in a downward slope. You know what I mean? So like so what I'm getting at is like OpTic Texas's veto is like, yeah, they played Berlin. You don't know what their actual records are on Berlin scrims. Like, yeah, match records are probably a little bit more important, but their Bocage could have been looking like iffy. They tried it against Seattle and it looked bad. So they're like, yeah, like this map's been kind of a struggle for us. Like whatever. We've been, you know, we are 10-1 in the last 11 Berlins that we played in practice. Like, let's play Berlin. You know what I mean? Like, that is a very, very possible thing. I don't know if that's the case. But, like, there's going to be struggles that you don't see. Like, dude, like, team scrim every day, two times a day. So you play like you play Berlin Hardpoint. If you were to do 7 times fucking 2, you play it 14 times a week. You know what I mean? Like if in the last week that they've played, they're 13 and 1. Like you're gonna be very confident in Berlin. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like scrims are like very, very, very underrated in vetoes to defend OpTic. I don't know if this is true. I'm literally, you know, I'm completely, you know, this is a guess. I don't know what the fuck OpTic does in their spare time. But like, I'm just giving you like an insight to like how teams veto most of the times. Am I going to sit here and say that teams don't just fuck up veto sometimes? I'm sure they do. You know what I mean? But like, I don't really think that the OpTic guys are just stupid like people are saying. And like, that's why like I'm defending OpTic here. Like, I think people are being a little ridiculous with it. But with that being said, so this is what else so we're talking about. So like they get rid of Bocage. Florida's a pretty good Bocage team, right? And they might not be feeling that confident on Bocage, maybe in scrims, I don't know, but they did lose it to Seattle. And I don't know, since Team A, OpTic's Team A, they veto first Hardpoint. This is also very underrated. Hardpoint veto goes first. OpTic vetoes Bocage. Tuscan is one of Florida's better maps. Berlin is not. They might not have been expecting Florida to veto Tuscan and play Berlin. They were probably thinking like potentially like, yo, they're probably going to get rid of this and like they'll play Berlin. Or maybe they expected to play Berlin and this was part of their plan. But like there's a bunch of stuff that goes into it, but they got rid of Tuscan, which is a smart veto by them because like OpTic's a really good map is Tuscan. So it's like they get rid of Tuscan, they get rid of Bocage. Like question mark here, but I really don't think this is that much of a question mark. Like if this was so bad for OpTic, they would not have played the map. You know what I mean? Or they're just in a tight situation where their hardpoint has just been struggling. You know, so it's like there's a bunch of different theories you can kind of come up with this. But I'm telling you, like 9 out of 10 times you watch a veto system or a veto go down, you are not like, wow. Like it's very easy to act like a know-it-all and be like, hindsight. I know they lost Berlin. That was a bad veto. Like in hindsight, like no fucking shit. But like I'm telling you, a lot that goes into it is usually not what you think. Like, I don't know. OpTic won 2 Berlins the day before. Did they? I don't even know exactly what maps they played on all that. Because, like, again, like, I haven't gone back and, like, really analyzed it. But, yeah, even that makes the point even more. Like, they were obviously probably playing really good in Berlin. Practice. They looked pretty good in the matches. And there you go. So, they do a very good job in, like, in that sense. So, like, I don't really think that's a big deal. The question mark that a lot of people had, so, like, even though Berlin would be the one that I focus on as, like, you know, just, like, kind of looking at these vetoes, everyone was, like, really mad that OpTic got rid of Tuscan. Why? Like, dude, am I faded? Like, hold up. Bro. They're 6-0. Like, when this first happened, there was a lot of people that were talking about, like, their Gavutu control. And they were like, why the fuck would they get rid of Tuscan? Bro, they're 6-0 on Gavutu control. They are not bad at Gavutu control. Then you go to Florida. They're 4-4 in Gavutu and 5-4 in Tuscan. Like, they clearly like are a little bit better at Tuscan, but like OpTic, I think Florida lost Tuscan to OpTic once, and it was a really close one, mind you not. Florida actually probably should have won that with the glide bomb when they played it last time. And then they lost one to us, I'm pretty sure. So if you take away 2 pretty good Tuscan control teams losses, and they're 5 and fucking 2. Like, they're a pretty decent Tuscan control team, and they're struggling more on Gavutu. So, like, why would you not do that? But, like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just have no idea. 1 second. Sorry. Had to get Bear to lie down. But, we're going on a hike tomorrow, too. Very excited. But so yeah, like literally we like, I don't know, it just, people are so bro, sorry, I got sidetracked. But yeah, the vetoes and stuff is so annoying to listen to sometimes because like the way people talk about vetoes is just not that, it's just crazy to me. Like just going back to it, like Gavutu is a good pick out of them. They're 6-0 on it. They're going to play a team that's not that good of a Gavutu. They're going to play it. Berlin was a question mark, but I'm telling you the way like your trends work, and they won 2 of them the day before that you guys are saying, like, I think you're good with that. Like, I don't know. I just think like this was fine. I really don't. Sorry that we just took so long on that. But yeah, so then going through the forwardness of this, we're going to talk about Gavutu. Oh, listening. Hold up. Sorry.
Extend this lead again. OpTic climb back into it. Now Mutineers trying to make the run, but we're getting ready to head into our second set of rotations.
Oh.
We're getting here over the ring.
Hold up.
Off the edge. Let's see if they can keep it going. To listen in with Florida Mutineers.
I needed the Powder shot, team, weak inside. Weak outer left. Yeah, there's three. Stay on zero.
Okay.
Yo, our third shot, team. Nice to you. Got me low, yeah. Nice. I'm in hill. Wait, bunker peeking. Left side hill's coming this up. He's going out next stage. He's at our close corner. I got one. I need to ring it. Nice, go deep. One's ready, Bo. Go. I'm playing. They're gonna play. Top pillow down. She's a bunker. I just laid out. Oh, shit. No. Bro, yo. What the fuck? They're not even... Did they leg out?
Okay. All right. So coming back to us.
Actually, completely. I didn't even know that happened. Oh, actually, I do remember that happening now. My bad. I completely forgot about that, though, to be honest. But yeah, that listening sounded good for Florida. So what was the score right there? Again, like, thank God it was, like, semi-even when that happened. Completely forgot about this shit. Then they had to restart. No one's throwing up. You love these tangents? Yeah, dude, I talk too much, bro. It's the fucking worst. It's just because people are so, like... Bro, people are so quick to make, like, these assumptions as, like, these, like, fucking... Hey, there. No. Stop it. But, like, people are so, like, quick to make these assumptions that, like, they know everything, and they just, like, don't. It's, like, it's just so annoying. But, yeah, thank God that was even. So, skipping forward through this, I have to keep an eye on Bear through the camera. Bear. 1 second, bro. I might have to put her in her crate for a little bit just for the rest of this, and then we're going to go outside and go for a long walk. She's getting restless. I feel bad for her. I'm keeping an eye on her, though. But, yeah, so, like, at least it was even, and then we kind of go back, and it's, like, kind of the same thing. But I know you guys all want to talk about the spawn point on this, right? So it's, like, right here, right? This is it? This is when they break the 4 dead right here? On to you, Bear. Whoop, I'm back. So, we'll talk about this.
Gets ripped. 10 points away from victory for Mutineers. 15 needed for OpTic, and Scump is just a slithering snake in the grass, and he's able to pop.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. So right here, realistically speaking, OpTic should be blocking this spawn because they're on the side of the map, and this spawn should be open. So that's where Florida should spawn. They spawn right here. So this has been my theory. I know a lot of you guys are not going to like this. I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like this. I know a lot of you guys are... look, I understand. This game is something else sometimes with the spawn systems. They should not have blocked the spawns. For anyone that's blaming OpTic here to sit back here and block the spawns, you're wrong. That's not what they should have done. They should... OpTic be on this side of the map. They should have spawned on this side of the map. Plain, simple, period, end of story. If OpTic was all in the 50-yard line and they split, I'd understand that more. Like, you know, they weren't on the right side of the map, yada, yada, yada. Like, I get that. But, like, he should be blocking this side of the map enough to spawn them on this side of the map. Plain and simple. But what I was saying is, at the end of the day, I tell this to my team too, and it sucks to hear, and I hate saying this. Like, again, this is not my favorite thing to say. But the way Vanguard is, and sometimes you can't avoid it, like, you know, you're in a high-intensity match and you're playing two really good teams. You can't be fucking perfect. And if you're not perfect, like, you know, you're going to have a close game. You have a close game that gets decided by spawns, you're fucking pissed. But at the end of the day, like, even, like, when this happens to my team, which it does too, it happens to everybody, there was probably a bunch of mistakes that you made to even let it get this close. Vice versa. It's like you have to be almost damn near perfect. So when this happens, something that you can't control, like, it's still not going to, like, you know, dagger you out. It still fucking sucks. I'm not... Listen, bro. Like, this has happened to my team. Like, me saying that to my team when they're mad is, like, it is what it is. But, like, you have to have, like, the mentality of just, like, kind of dealing with it. It's fucking stupid. So, like, these spawns make no fucking sense. And now, look. They push out on this side, And this sucks because they fully think that they got like the kills. And also, you don't also know if they're simultaneous, like if they're all dead at once because the kill feed lasts really long. So like it's still a pain in the ass even like to kind of read if they're all dead. So like OpTic does not push up too far here. They just think that they all spawned here. And I'm telling you now, if Florida, to give you an insight to how the spawn system works right now, the only reason why Florida flips right here is because all 4 of them are dead. No one on Florida's on the map. So there's no squad spawn to take it, right? Like there's no squad spawn to take this. So the game has no one to squad spawn them on. So they just spawn the meta spawn. And they could not predict this. What's it called? The kill feed is still super confusing, in my opinion, at least, like just watching my players play and like watching myself play, like even like play. Like sometimes it's still confusing to like kind of notice if like there's 4 dead. You have to be really good at picking up if there's 4 dead. Because if there was 4 dead, if they knew that there was 4 dead, OpTic probably would have been a little bit more alert. And like, you know, my team makes this call out all the time. We have 4 dead. Everyone watch everything. Like it's like stupid as fuck, but it's just like kind of like a troll. But like when you get 4 dead in this game, you have to make sure you're watching the flip. You have to make sure you're watching this spawn and that spawn because you don't know where the fuck they're about to spawn. And sometimes it's a goddamn split, which is also super unfair to players to compete on, but whatever. So like OpTic doesn't realize probably that they actually got all 4 dead and they push up. And now for you guys asking if they pushed up too far, no, because if there was 1 player alive right here right now on Florida, OpTic could be pushed up all the way. Like look where number 3 gets. Ready? You see number 3? OpTic could be pushed up all the way over here. 1 in the hill, 1 over here, and 1 over here. As long as 1 Florida player is like over on this side, you're probably still going to be spawning here because of the squad spawn effect. They're going to keep spawning on the teams, keep spawning on their team, keep spawning on their team, keep spawning on their team. And that's why like you see the best teams in the world right now get really aggressive on spawns and not really block. Because in this game, for the most part, you don't have to block too much. Sometimes you still have to block. There's still situations in certain hills where like you can't go too rogue, obviously. But you see like this aggression on this hill. They do this because like they think that they're about to fucking put them in the trap for this last wave of kills and win the game. OpTic doesn't really make a mistake here as much as they just read the spawns wrong. And like in a high pressure situation with the kill feed being what it is, it's not that easy to read that there was all 4 dead. And then this kind of happens. And now this sucks because now look at their first line of defense. It's number 2. Their first line of defense is number 2. And then watch what happens. And then like this happens, and then we all know how this goes. They lose. So like basically to give you like the insight there, like the biggest mistake that OpTic makes here is that I don't think they realized that they had all 4 dead at the same time. I could almost put good money on it. Maybe I'm wrong. That at this moment right here, when they get 4 dead, if they knew that all 4 were dead, I guarantee you number 3 probably would have stayed back and like been like, yo, I'm making sure they didn't flip. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'm making sure like they didn't flip or some bullshit. It's like literally getting 4 dead in this game kind of helps the other team half the time. So it just sucks. Definitely sucks for OpTic, but fans don't really mention it what happened to the other teams. Do not get me wrong. This did like that's why I was saying what I was saying before. This happens to every team in every map in every game that you play. Like 3 just spawned in. That's what I'm saying. But I guarantee you, if they knew, like if they had 4 dead, I guarantee you, like, or like watch, or one of them would have been like turned around just looking at it. Like I know he just spawns in, but I'm saying like it's literally a call out that like my team does. When we get 4 dead and we actually know, it's like 4 dead and everyone just starts looking at all the spawns because you don't know what the fuck's about to happen. Not saying that's fair, but that's just what the game is. You can't control it. It's fucking dumb. But yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. This shit's so stupid to watch because this should not have happened. And that's what I was saying earlier. Like, this happens to every team in every game, and it is what it is. And that's why I was saying, like, you have to almost be perfect in this game because if you're not and you end up getting something go your way, like, it can completely screw you over. Like, it completely can screw you over and, like, mess everything up. So it just sucks. I don't know. Can't really do much about it. So, yeah, they lose this, and that sucks. I'm sure you can go back and, like, watch both things. I'm sure both teams make mistakes to, like, let it get that close, but it's so cheesy. So, hopefully, like, those spawns keep getting highlighted and getting fixed because it's super annoying to watch. But that's like to give you the insight of like what actually happened there. I don't think they realized that they had all 4 dead. And then that happens because of that reason. She's so funny. All right. And then the searches. I'm pretty sure pretty sure Florida plays this search like pretty well, right? Yeah. Like, bro, the searches from Florida. Does this go? Where does this go? This goes 0-2. Yeah, they played that really well. Okay. We can watch some of these rounds just play out and just talk about it. I'll tell you what if I think like anything's too crazy. This is just a one-on-one. I actually remember watching this one. Bad showing from OpTic. The major, yes, it's messed up, but it's one map. Wait, what? That Gavutu chalked OpTic on that Guerrillas and SND. Yeah, it could have. It could obviously been mentally super annoying, thinking that they probably just won the fucking map and they didn't. That's definitely a thing. But like, that goes for everyone, including my own team. Like, just as competitors, that's like shit you got to deal with, dude. These guys all have a lot of experience. I don't really think that chalked them. You should never be checked out in a match. Not saying that every team has done it. Every team has been checked out in a match before, so like, don't get me fucking wrong. But like, you got to do your best to avoid that shit just as competitors and shit. Trust me, like, I've seen it happen with everyone. Like, obviously, including my own team. Like, we've had, like, moments where it's like, what the fuck? It just looks like shit. Yeah, these are just mid-game decisions that just obviously went in Florida's favor. But Florida made a really good call to go A there after they killed that guy out. Like, if you back this up, like, look at this. So he called out 2 crossing to A. So, like, Florida immediately knows it's a 2-2 split, right? Or, like, a 1 in fire, 1 B, and then 2A, right? So, like, look how this goes. Like, they know, like, that one person's probably still over there. Like, you know, like, they're reading it. They played this so well of, like, catching this guy, making this play still. Because, like, he probably kept it in his mind that they had a guy A. And as soon as they kill this guy A, they probably know, like, yo, we can try and, like, single the guy out today if he's over there. Because what, it was 3 and 4 that crossed? Yeah. So, like, they don't know that this guy backs up, but, like, they probably think, like, it's a 2-on-1 a day and they can go. And then they get the call out when he dies if there's 2 of them over here. Like, as soon as number 5 dies, he calls him out, and then they just go straight to A and plant. Like, they played this really, really well. Like, their mid-game decisions, almost all of them, I want to say, were pretty good if I remember watching. Like, the Florida matches that I watched, I feel like their in-game decisions were pretty good. For the most part. Florida looked pretty good. Florida looked like they got a lot of their teamwork stuff that people have criticized them for throughout the years, like, a lot better, and that was pretty cool to see. I can't believe that just happened, by the way, but momentum is a crazy thing, absolutely. But as competitors and stuff, like, goes for our team and everyone, like, you got to be able to fight against momentum, dude. You have to. That's like one of the biggest things, like, you learn through all the experience you have on stage and stuff. Guys has been grinding S&D wagers. Looks like he was on one at S&D this major. Wow. Wow. he practices the game mode and he's good at it. I'm not being a dickhead to you. But, like, you know, trust me, like, dude. Oh, it makes me so mad, dude. You practice the game mode, you're good at it. That's how that fucking works. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the chat, my bad. That was a really good, like, yeah, like, nade and slow. I don't even know if that was, like, planned. I wonder if that was planned. Nah, I got you for sure. Yeah, dude. It just makes me so mad. It's like, wow, you practice the game mode, you're good at it. Holy shit. And still people choose not to practice the fucking game mode, so. After this event, I do believe that crowd was a factor during their Major 1 run. Man. It's kind of crazy to say. I think that's a little foolish. What do you guys think of that? I think that's kind of foolish, bro. Like, listen, I'm a big believer in, like I could see where momentum and, like, all that stuff comes from, and, like, you know, the crowd helps you, the crowd makes you worse, yeah, like, all that stuff. As a competitor, like, you have to, you know, some people are affected by that more, and that, I just think OpTic looked really good at Major 1. Like, they were just, like, you know, in sync. Like, that just happens. Like, I don't know. Like, I just really don't think that's, like, you can't say that OpTic, like, had it, like, I don't know. I think that's like taking away from OpTic's gameplay if you say that. That's like kind of what I'm saying. Momentum helps, but like you can't just take away credit. Like I think OpTic won, and then they looked really good, and then teams got better, and then like OpTic obviously didn't play the best that they can probably play, and then they lost. Like it happens, bro. You're gonna lose. Like you can't win every single event. Like I think OpTic just looked really good. Teams played pretty good this event, and like they lost. Like this is a really competitive league. Like I'm telling you, I think people underrate how competitive this league is. And then they go up to, yeah, so like this was just really good search play out of Florida, which was really like helping them out. But I feel like just looking at Florida's matches and stuff, like they just looked really, really in sync. Like a lot of the events, like they looked like they had a plan. They looked like they had a plan. They looked like so much was going in their favor. Like they looked like their teamwork was on. And like we've talked about this Florida team a lot. This Florida team is a very good team, like as individuals. Like Sky has a lot of gun skill. Daft Patty's like been newer, but he's got a gun skill. He's a really good AR. Awakening, in my opinion, is an absolute beast. And then Vivid is very fast and aggressive. He brings the pace. Like, this team is never a team, even when they're struggling, that you play and like, oh, this is just going to be a wash. Like, these guys suck. Ever. They never have been that team. And now, like, they become a scary team if their teamwork gets, like, actually on point, right? So, like, this Florida team is, like, playing to their potential, in my opinion. Which their potential is that they can beat big name teams. And, like, you know, they can compete with the best. And, like, they're going to be up there for a contention for some of these events if they keep playing the way they are. Like, I actually think this Florida team is a lot better than how they've been performing, in my opinion. And I think I said that like a little bit ago. Like you never play Florida and it's like, oh, Florida, this team's kind of chalked, like ever. Even when they're struggling, they have a lot of gun skill. And I think we said this earlier in the league, but like when you have a lot of gun skill and your problem is you're outslaying and losing, that's a lot more fixable than you can't win gunfights. You know what I mean? All right. And Gavutu control. Gavutu control. This is where skipping forward, like I don't know why everyone was so like confused in the vetoes when OpTic played this map, but like I don't know. Like I actually don't mind that OpTic played this map. This is like what we were saying. Like there was a lot of people saying that like them playing this map at first was kind of a mistake. Like I don't know, OpTic's really good at control in general. They're good at Gavutu. They're good at Tuscan. Like they played a really close Tuscan against Florida last time, and Florida almost actually won that with the streaks and shit. So they were probably like, fuck it, we're playing Gavutu. Again, scrims also, scrims go hand in hand. Like, scrims go hand in hand. Like, maybe their scrims looked way better on Gavutu anyway, so you don't know how that works. So, like, I actually didn't mind this pick. I know a lot of people did for some odd reason, but all right. So this is the question mark, though, that I was saying, like, where I can see, like, why people were criticizing, like, this pick. But personally, I just think this was, I don't think this was a mispick as much as, like, I just think, like, this team has been pretty good at this map, and yeah. All right, so we can watch some of this map out, and then we'll go to the next. What is Maven saying, dude? Let me make him louder.
But it is a 32-point advantage for OpTic early in this one. Is they're now inside, and Vivid just looking to find the picks. Set up openings for his teammates. Yeah, one more in the corner. The slide is on point. Sky's involved in the action at the same time. It's really going to be Shotzi, but those situations where you get to where the rest of your team drops just gives you a chance to get back, but it's still going to be Mutineers inside.
Yeah, a little staggered here if you're OpTic. Shotzi coming off his spawn. Now you can work together. Play this 4v4 push. Illy with... Oh, I thought he...
They let number 7 through and get spawns. Like, actually, on Berlin, these back spawns, though, like, aren't the worst. Because, like, if you actually play this right, like, you can do, like, this hill is mixy. Like, I know some teams are actually pretty good at this hill. But, like, this is a pretty mixy hill for the most part. You can actually kind of get decent time from this and then also win this rotation kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't... that's not even, like, super crazy to me. Maybe just going crazy again. Like, if you're OpTic right here, like, in my opinion, like, you're in a pretty good spot to hold this. I think the problem that's about to happen, I didn't get to watch this map. I'm pretty sure we were doing something during this map that we didn't really get to watch. This is another spawn point. This is what I, yeah, so this is what I, okay. I saw this on Twitter. Bro, this is exactly what we're talking about. Like, people were trying to, like, make sense of this spawn, too. This spawn is wild. I understand, like, the squad spawn of, like, you know, why, like, OpTic all spawns here and here. But, like, you would think with squad spawning and how it normally works, like, number 7 and number 8 would spawn with number 5, right? Watch. Number 7 and number 8. This hill is up. So this spawn point... This hill is up, so this spawn point is, like, you know, in a good spot. You would think that number 7 and number 8 spawn back here because he's blocking the back, and then this team spawns on this side of the map because of squad spawns. Like, this is another spawn that, like, makes no sense. Like, Vivid just made the fucking play to get to the back and get this kill. This is, like, a great play in all kind of ways. And then...
What's going to happen with the spawns now? The spawns are key here. They still spawn out.
Dude. Like, just like we were talking about with, like, the Gavutu shit being, like, ridiculous. Like, dude, this is so fucking tough. Vivid has no chance of reading this at all.
Right there. Wasn't sure what was going to happen.
That sucked.
They try to get to their teammates. This is where OpTic can open up the map.
Like, Vivid thinks he makes the fucking play right there, and he doesn't. It happens to every team, bro. It's insane.
Okay, never mind. They don't need the spawns. Now they got them. They just break right through.
Yeah, it's like everybody kind of struggling.
It doesn't affect it that much, considering OpTic doesn't, like, money hold this time. But still, dude, it's just fucking... It's just fucking insane, dude.
To get any kind of semblance of a hold for a long period of time. You still have 30 to go here. What kind of mark can you make on the objective right now if you were Florida Mutineers? I thought Italy had the read, but Awakening gets around the corner and able to finish the kill before he gets fully healed up. Is Scump just kind of lurking? The rest of his teammates thinking about the rotation. And so, I mean, considering the chaos at the beginning and Vivid, you thought maybe a little frustrated, they get the final 30 seconds.
Yeah, nice. Very nicely done by Florida. Even at the P2, because there was a couple individual plays that OpTic had. Italy was finding multi-kills. The fact that they deal with that early lead from OpTic to bring it within a good amount of time, they get the break. Vivid, though, open that up. Let's see what they can find. Dave this time. Dashy's going to respond. It's a 1v2 for Shotzi. He's just trying to do what he can. We know how difficult it is to earn time here.
5 points separating the squad.
All right, so skipping forward now to this.
He got blown to Pete. The third is a low.
Pretty sure this goes down to the wire, though, right? We can listen to this in a second. Oh, no, never mind. I'm tripping. Sorry. We can watch where it breaks out. So it breaks out, like, right here. Aren't the devs experienced... What are you talking about? Why are you yelling?
Lead change to listen in now with OpTic Texas.
All right, here we go.
I don't see him.
Yo, right side over, wait, he's weak.
Yo, he's gate reach, absolute, and one guy's left side glass. Left side glass.
I had hit it all.
Gate reach, I spawn fire. He's right side, you see him,
Oh, yeah, he's scoring,
He's left,
he's
left.
load up. What is
Right
he?
here.
Glass.
I got dragon, punch on wait.
Yeah,
I'm going quick.
I spawn loading.
Glass, tell me, yo, glass is in small.
Yo, glass is time, glass is time.
Glass one left side time.
Yeah, they're flooding from their side.
Yo, when is that gate right now? Gate?
He's still there? Then he over?
Showing time. Nothing left window.
Yeah, I'm one shot. I can't tell, guys. He's close right, so.
I'll pitch a double now.
Gate. Their side long. Their side window.
He's left side glass. Weak glass, bro. Weak glass, so much out of window.
Yeah.
Let's hit the shit.
Yo, listen, I'm gonna go outer and iron over you guys. I don't see him.
Yeah.
Caesar left side. He's still there. He's not challenging me. Give me gate. I'm hitting out.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. I need to get.
One's in fire, Dave. He's going to that statue or he's going...
I'm going glass. I'm going
I don't see
glass.
him. Near could be gate.
One is secret. One is over
Secret.
secret.
Yeah, he's
You want
back
their
on
side?
statue. Get to new right now. Take a deep breath. Everyone reset. Get deep breath right here. Get to new. I don't think so. I'm new right now. They might be hitting through. I'm one shot.
Got too loud.
I like Scump at the tail end of that. Kind of like it.
Yeah,
It was a frustrating
that's what I was about to say, too. You heard, like, how they called the reset and stuff? Like, dude, I feel like those are a little bit faster than normal for OpTic, but those comms are still really good. I feel like OpTic's comms are always fucking really good, dude.
They're down 60. Sorry,
But I like the fact that Scum called them the reset and stuff. Like, you know, like reset and like bring it back kind of thing.
There was a couple of chances where the spawns flip. You heard it right when we got to the listening. Scum was trying to find a couple of kills to break into P1, but it was a stronghold from Florida. Have to give them their props. Skies is now on a 4 spree, but over to P2. Can they reset?
They're about to spawn out now. Yeah. This is kind of a dagger right here, to be honest. Getting flipped at the end of this hill sucks because, like, look. Like, they're going to get this time, but, like, they're still so screwed for this fire hill.
They have the main advantage right now. Florida, gonna try and push through street side. Scum able to find one, but Vivid has been so good here on Berlin.
And then they get the squad spawns in the back. That's, like, what's so weird about this, dude. Like, look what we were talking about. Sorry. Look what we're talking about. Like, watch. So, you remember how Vivid got the kill in the back right here? And, like, no one spawned on him in the back? Like, look where number 2 is. Like, I understand there's another guy up here, so it's a little bit different of a scenario with the squad spawns and shit. But, like, bro, like, number 2, like, and number 3 is alive. Like, look how, like... You see how he squad spawns right there? I understand it. Like, I trust me, I get, like, I was gonna say, like, that's gonna happen. It's just so weird how, like, Vivid gets the kill earlier, and no one's... like, it's, like, so odd. Like, Vivid thought he made the play. I don't know. So weird. OpTic can make this work right here, dude. Dashy's playing this well, too. Oh, shit. That was a huge fucking gunfight.
With the snap of the headshot through, there's the clearance. He needed it so badly. You're at 205 right now if you're Mutineers.
Turned on? He didn't get turned on. He just got gunned. That happens.
On the other side of it. With 20 to go. Seems like you're still sending like 2 players at it on the rotation early. It's going to be Dave Patty who's going to start to. I thought they were going to send it. It's like it's like they were kind of caught in the middle of fighting for scrap and rotation.
He got melted? Yeah, he did. I can't believe he... I'm telling you, bro, I think Awakening is nasty. Like just talent-wise. He wins a lot of big gunfights like that a lot.
But it could put the pressure all on OpTic now. They have to go. They have to make these breaks. So you just continue to flood the hill.
Because you know it's every added second, but so much pressure. Now, where we saw Skies get naded last time, now he's finding doubles up to 22 and 16. And look at the map Vivid's having.
Yeah, dude.
This is sort of a Shotzi player.
Like, I definitely think like what like you're seeing here for the rest of this map is just like, what's it called?
It's just a little bullet.
You see like OpTic in this map specifically. Like I feel like every time like OpTic was like in the driver's seat to like, you know, like kind of take control of the map, like towards the end, like when like things got out of their way, like they would like they flipped to the back of P2 and then they obviously flipped to the back of P3, but it's like a little bit late and then they like lose those gunfights and like they didn't have those spawns and then they didn't have these spawns. Like even if you like go back in the like look at this, like OpTic gets the last of this time, but like now they don't have a break, like a proper break to form here. Like I feel like they were just kind of playing on their back foot a lot, like against this Florida team. And again, this Florida team, when things are going right, they have a lot of gun skill. Like, you know, they're gonna make you pay for it. So I just feel like it was more or less this map just looked like OpTic kept getting the spawns that they didn't prefer towards the end, and like it just kind of screwed them over, which like sucks. But yeah, so what we were saying, we can go to this intermission real quick. Ow. What the fuck? My chair's stuck. So what we were saying is like, dude, I don't think the crowd had anything to do with OpTic losing, because if you guys were at the venue, the crowd was an OpTic crowd. Like if Minnesota wasn't playing, and even when Minnesota lost them, the crowd was going nuts for OpTic. Like I don't think to say that is unfair. I personally think OpTic played really, really well at Major 1, and they were just like really they were, you know, they were feeling confident. Everything was firing on all cylinders for them, and they won. And then at this event, like they didn't have anyone booing them or anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were fine. Like they were chilling. Like the only time I think they got booed was when they played Minnesota, but even there were so many people with Minnesota jerseys on that were cheering for OpTic. So like, I don't know. I think to take that away for their Major 1, like saying the crowd was that is silly. I just think like OpTic just didn't play their best Call of Duty. I'm sure they made some mistakes that like you can even like, you know, kind of go more in depth with and see. But like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, you know, they obviously didn't play the best COD that they could play and they lost. Like, it happens. Rockers fans booed them. Was crazy that game. Yeah, but then after OpTic won though, it looked like there was a lot of people cheering them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that hostile of a crowd for him. Like I just think like the crowd thing is silly. Like, I don't know. I just think that teams continuously get better, and I think you underrate how competitive this league really is. Later, Casper. Like, dude, like this team hasn't been playing their best, but they, you know, their teamwork's on point. They can beat you at any given moment. Like, Florida's a very good team. Like, there's a lot of good, I don't know. Like, I just think, like, to take that away from the Major 1 is just silly. Like, they won that event because they were the best team at that event. Like, and for the Major qualifiers thing, that just doesn't matter. Like, those qualifiers are obviously nice, but at the same time, like, that doesn't mean you're going to win the event. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just silly. I think OpTic played fine. I just think they lost. And, like, it happens. And you can't win them all.
All on to Simp.
Obviously, that doesn't mean, like, you know, that's just, like, not an excuse just not to try and win. Like, I'm obviously furious that we've gotten back-to-back seconds and shit. And, like, that's still not that bad if you look at it from an outside, like, an outside looking in. But it's still stupid. Yeah, like, you got to be really good. They just didn't play the best they can play. Why is FaZe generally hated? I don't know. Probably because we had a good year last year. It's actually so tough always getting booed. I don't think that really matters. But, like, okay, let's see. Hold up, I gotta find this map 1. You have the best SND team ever? No cap. Yeah, we looked really good at SND this event. Looked fucking incredible. Rainbow was saying that they sucked at SND and you need to be good at this game. Well, that's like the biggest thing is, like, I don't know what OpTic's records were at this major. Actually, we can kind of just go look at it and just see. But, like, SND, like, you have to be a complete team, dude. You have to be a complete team. I want to say, like, if you go back to OpTic's thing, like, before we go into this final and talk about it, like, because this is more of, like, just, like, an open recap one anyway. We're not really doing any, there's no structure to this fucking episode of the show anyway, so fuck it. Here. Highlight it. 1 and 4, 3 and 1, and 3 and 4. So, like, OpTic's search didn't look very good, right? Like, I know you got, this is 1 and 4 for Search and Destroy right here, right? So then, okay. The Major 1 tournament, they're 4 and 3, and, like, they, you know, they won 4 searches and lost 3. Like, bro, they're 5 and 2 in Hardpoint, and they're 5 and 0 in Control. Like, this Major 1 tournament, like, their searches were really good, their Hardpoint's really good. Like, they, you know, like, they just looked like more of a complete team. Like, searches don't win you championships, as I was saying. Like, everything wins you championships. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, everyone, you know, championships get won by being a complete team, and that's, like, my point. Like, if you just look at, like, the differences, like, they just weren't, like, you know, they were decent at Control, obviously, 3 and 1. They were 3 and 4 in Hardpoint, so a little shaky, but if, like, you flip this into, like, a 3 and 2, Search and Destroy, like, they might still be here. You know what I mean? Like, Search and, like, they just weren't complete at one of the game modes, and it cost them. It's, like, the same thing here. Like, if you go to Atlanta stats, and you, like, look at it, like, I don't even know what our stats are. They 4 and 2 in Hardpoint, 4 and 1 in Control, 3 and 4 in SND. Like, oh, wait. Yeah. Like, we were shit at SND. Like, that's just what's gonna happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're not good at S&D. Like, we won some S&Ds to win us our best of 5s, but when we got to the major, we get lost 3 S&Ds. Like, you can't lose 3 S&Ds and expect to win a tournament. Like, it's, again, like, if you're not a fully complete team when it matters, like, you're not gonna win. Like, and if you go to LAG, just to see, again, like, you have to be a complete team. And, like, specifically Hardpoint, like, every mode is super important in their own way. But here. So, like, LAG starts off, they're 0-3 versus Boston. They're 10-2 in SD, 4-4 and 6-6. Like, so LAG was, like, you know, decent, good. You know what I mean? Like, and the searches are obviously 2 game modes, right? And then, like, Hardpoint, like, they're winning some Hardpoints, and then they're winning majority of their searches. Like, you're gonna win. Like, if you're on the complete side of things, like, especially with, like, a game mode that's, like, if you're, like, you know, lights out on a game mode of Hardpoint and our search, you're always gonna have, like, those are two game modes in the series. And then the best of 9, the most important, like, game mode in that best of 9 is search. Yes, but you still have to be very complete, and they were decent. They won 1 Hardpoint, they won 1 Control, and then they won 3 searches. Like, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So it's just, like, that's, like, being that complete team is what usually helps you out the most. I know what I'm saying is common sense, but it's just how it goes for, like, even for OpTic and stuff too. It was, like, the same kind of thing. But, like, this LAG team was, like, obviously not the best respawn team of the tournament, but they were really, really good at search. And then, like, say if you were fucking disgusting at Hardpoint and, like, you're decent at S&D, you can probably make it work too. But, like, the problem is we were bad at S&D and we weren't good enough at Hardpoint or Control to win. And, like, again, we were incomplete, in my opinion. You have to be a complete team in all ways. And, like, a lot of the S&Ds that we were losing were in unacceptable ways. Like, if you watch this final, look at this. Like, you can skip through this map. This first map was great. We played amazing. You know what I mean? Like, we played very, very well. Like, everything went our way. Like, we did good in the hard points, but the S&Ds are what, like, really fucked us, dude. Like, you can go back to this, like, watch. I know clutches are a part of Call of Duty, and I know, like, you know, in the way that we'll just talk about like this Atlanta stuff. We'll take some questions and then wrap this up. But I know clutches are very, very, you know, they're going to happen in Call of Duty, and that's what decides games, especially between two really good teams and stuff. But in my opinion, when, you know, hypothetically speaking, if you're always in a clutch situation and your guy doesn't clutch, like that's not a round you should have won, right? So like this is a round we probably should not have won. Simp is really, really clutch. And even versus New York, by the way, there was a lot of rounds versus Search against them that we should not have won that Sim clutched. Like there's like a lot of rounds that like we were kind of getting bailed out by like this, like the skill of our team and like not the teamwork that's like, you know, what we need to do. So like Sim clutches this in some crazy fucking fashion, by the way. Fucking nuts. But so Sim clutches this. And that's a round that we probably shouldn't have won, right? So that's like, you know, whatever. It's still nice to take those. Like those rounds are obviously going to be helpful, but it doesn't look clean, in my opinion. And just go forward. Like, look at this. Like, look at this shit. This is like, even this though. Like, look at the mid-game adjustments from LAG. This is what I'm talking about. Like the confidence in the game mode. Like, the confidence in the game mode of like, look at LAG's arrows right now. And watch them in a second from here. Ready? This is like what I'm talking about with like confidence of like calls and like. Again, this is not a team that's well practiced as S&D, but all these guys grind the fuck out of the game, and they've gotten better at the game mode. Is what I was like highlighting earlier in the podcast or this show. Like, look. Look at the decisiveness of number 6 and number 5. Obviously a little bit separate, but they're still doing it. You know, like they're still close. Like, look. And you skip forward, they get a first blood. Like, a lane is clearly left open in our team. Right? But even if number 2 were to look right here, like if you back it up, even if number 2 were to look to the right and like hold this lane, you know what I mean? He's probably going to get traded in the 2v1. You see what I mean? Like they're still in it, they're still together, they're making a decisive call and they're making the play. Where you see like us, we're kind of just sitting around. Like obviously sometimes you have to sit around. That's not like the key to fucking winning Surge. But the point is like LAG throughout this entire tournament was just making plays like this where there was a very, very just decisive together, like confident and like not hesitant. And like that's what wins you a lot of rounds in Search and Destroy is mid-game adjustments. You know what I mean? Like mid-game adjustments, mid-game calls and stuff. The stuff that is like super important as individuals to be able to make those calls is like where we were lacking in this event, in my opinion. And that's like what we have to get way better at for this obviously next month of practice that we have before Major 3 starts. So yeah, that was just like a highlight to just like see how good they play. And then they do such a good job, they win this. And then skip forward. Watch this round. We get a first blood. This round, like, we should win this round. I'm pretty sure Alex stopped shooting here. Pretty sure he said he stopped shooting, but regardless. So he wins another big fight. That fight obviously sucks, but still a 3v3. Very manageable. Still a very manageable round win, right? That was just a nice fucking gunfight out of Asim. This is what I'm talking about. What, like... Number 1 is challenging a guy on a tank head glitch by himself in field. With no, like, there's no play call here. You see what I mean? There's no play call here. At all. Like, there's no, like, decisive play call of, like, what we want to do. So, like, Cell challenges that by himself, trying to make an individual play. Number 3 is nowhere to be found because he probably didn't even know he was doing it. I don't know if he was. I'm not sure the communication there. And then number 2 is on the left side of the map by himself. Like, you can just see how different, like, the decisiveness of like our team is in some of these rounds. Like, and then look, immediately they get a blood, and like, look at LAG, dude. Look at this call immediately. You see, like, you see what I mean? This doesn't take S&D practice as a team. This is a bunch of players that are just like really comfortable in the game mode right now. One of them made a play, Slasher, Sparta, Asim, made a call, and they all agreed, and they're like, all right, let's do it. You know? Again, like, they were like, right here, we're just getting outworked, bro. They're working the map on us like crazy. And even this, we're still in a split call. Like, it's just tough. We get this kill, we get traded, and now we're in a 1v2. There's just, like, little things like that. Because if you watch this Bocage throughout the future of this, I'm pretty sure, like, that round was, in my opinion, like, just mid-game decisions. I want to say, was this the round where MC puts a 1v3 up? No, it's not. Sorry. Well, almost a 1v3. My bad. Let's see. This is like skipping rounds here. 3-4. I don't even know where the round like it is, but like the rounds that like we could have won that like didn't go in our favor were like when MC had that 1v3 that he kind of like didn't shoot at the guy defusing the bomb. Like Tyler had that bot, like the one round where like he like took his eye off the fucking bomb too. I'm pretty sure it was the last round before this. Like those are all clutches that should not have been won. I want to say I think it's this round. No, it's not. We win this? I'm sorry. No, we do win this. Where's the play? My bad. Where's the round that Tyler shoots at him and turns around? Is it right here? Am I fucking twisted? I didn't dream this round to happen, right? Did it already happen? Bro, am I fucking faded? Boy, win this. This was decent. Oh yeah, here it is. There it is. Sorry, my bad. I was like, I'm not fucking tripping. I could have swore it was this round. I just kept skipping over it like an idiot. All right, look. Like even this round, like in the situation that we were just in, like, you know, we get split apart or whatever, and like this is not a round that we should have won. Like, yes, this round could have been won. Like right here, he stops shooting and then like turns like, damn, like he would obviously probably kill this guy with the bomb. But like the point of it is like, again, it's like another 1v2 and then sells 1v3 that turn into a 1v1. Like if those 3 rounds go in our, or those 2 rounds go in our favor, we probably win this map. But it's just my point of like what I'm saying is our teamwork is just not there. Like we're putting ourselves in situations consistently, even sometimes when we get a first blood, that we end up in like a 1v2. And that just means to me that our teamwork is not fully there. And that's not a big deal. It can be very, very easily fixed, and it's not something to like, you know, panic over, but definitely need to be, what's it called? Definitely need to be just better as a team. Just plain and simple. And then like skipping forward through the rest of the series, like I don't want to like go like, again, we'd be here for hours if we went through this, and like we've already done other teams and stuff. I kind of just want to talk about the event and just like answer more questions with you guys. But we win, what's it called? We win the hardpoint, they win the search. The Gavutu control, in my opinion, we were playing really well throughout the event. This Gavutu control, we just slowed down way too much. And when we slowed down on our offenses, like there was a lot of weird situations where like we were getting kills at A. We were getting kills at A and like just like not trying to cap it and like making weird plays, and like we end up kind of getting punished for that. So in my opinion, we could have won this if we played with more aggression. But again, we were being super hesitant like in some of the plays that we were making, and like it was just kind of screwing us over. It was like kind of what I was saying on the Bocage versus Seattle. And then we lose this. Like, this is the map that, like, really fucked us. Like, we needed to win this hardpoint. And, again, a lot of the plays that we were making in this hardpoint were super, super slow-paced and, like, not fast enough. And not that, like, we weren't deciding and going. We were deciding. We were thinking, deciding, thinking, and then going. And, like, when you have all that thought process into what you have to do, and it's, like, not automatic, you end up being pretty slow. And it kind of fucked us, in my opinion. So, like, I think that hurt us, too, on this map. And then we go down 1-3, and then at this point, if you can't win a search and destroy, it's over. If you can't win a search and destroy by that point, it's over. Like we can watch the winning moment. Watch the winning moment here. Hold up. Where is it? Sorry. Here we go. So we win a second map, we lose. Where is it? Oh, it's so super far. Here we go. Watch like for Mike right here. Even this, though, by the way, which is crazy, like, Chris just called out one person crossed A, one person crossed A, right? Like, he's so funny. What's it called? One person crossed A. Like, look at this. We have information that there's one guy at A. So what do you think where do you think the rest of their team is? Probably B, right? Like, just decisions like this of just us getting blooded, like just like situations like that. I think, you know, like using the info in a weird way, like knowing there's one guy at A and still like kind of making a weird play to like get blooded and stuff. Like there's just a lot of like fucked up rounds for us that like didn't help us win, in my opinion, at all. So then here we can watch right here. We can watch them talk and stuff. See, I haven't really heard all their interviews. I saw the Asim shout out, but also, by the way, the Rocker Shield, I hope they do something like this every event. I'm so tired of like majors not having trophies, dude. Go back? What am I going back for? When they run past Hook? Oh, shit. No, I'm not. That was just they didn't check the corners. I know what you're talking about. That's not that big of a deal. They did, like, obviously it sucked, but here you go. Yeah, when they all ran by fucking Hook. I know exactly what you're talking about. When he was sitting under the staircase corner. If the first guy doesn't check the corner, number 2 and number 3 don't check the corner either. Where's the interviews? Hold up. Oh, look at Asim, bro. Look at our boy Asim. Guy's the GOAT. Okay. Hello? There we go.
This thing on?
This is something, man. I'm gonna say what everyone's thinking. What the fuck, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Is this even on?
Yeah. All right. You've done some incredible losers bracket runs in your career, but this has got to top it, right?
Oh yeah, but for sure, this is the best win, like from the losers bracket, probably all time, almost.
Yeah.
I gotta be the losers bracket king at this point, right? I gotta be the king.
Do you guys think that's true? Because I feel like the one they did at Seattle in World War II was pretty nuts
I'm so
too.
proud, man. You know, we've been putting hours in every day. Me, Kyler, Asim, and Pierce back at home, and then we picked up Spark because Pierce is unhealthy. Hope he's feeling better. And you know, we somehow pulled out a miracle. So I'm super proud of the guys. We've been fighting every day.
Absolutely.
And we're winners.
Congrats, man. Hook. Bro, I knew you were locked in the second you walked out on stage. Like, you look like the Undertaker.
Yeah, pretty much.
Were you feeling? You had to be feeling yourself, and you played incredible, man.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just really proud of everyone, man. We showed up. We really showed out. And, you know, this was for Big P. This was for Big P.
Smart. I don't even know where to begin.
I got no idea what the fuck to say right now.
Oh, just so you know,
fuck.
You're the new guy, so you're paying my fine too.
Bro, I just made my salary this week.
Yeah, well,
I made
also,
my salary this week.
Hey, just to let you know, you won MVP as well, pal.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys. I'm fucking mind blown. Hey, I just want to say thank you to my girlfriend and my mom for coming out here. It means the world to me. I appreciate y'all, for real. I appreciate all these guys for having faith in me too. I appreciate everybody, for real. This is crazy.
He's so shook right now.
Asim, I know.
That's awesome.
Whether it was personal life last year, you had stuff going on with family. I know it was an up and down year for you. Maybe a slow start to this year. But how you feeling? This is special.
I'm feeling on top of the world, man. This is just a feeling that I've never had before in my entire life. Dude, I've been trying for 3 whole years to win a championship, and to win it in front of Minnesota, oh my God, man. Oh my God.
Wait, hang on. I got my first ever league dub this week. I just wanted to say that, though.
No.
My first ever dub in the league. I was like
also wanna say
0-14 or some shit.
Shout out to
Was
FaZe.
he really?
They were great opponents. Shout out to the coaches.
What, when he played in MW?
They put me in this position. They helped me get into competitive Call of Duty. If it wasn't for those two, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. So shout out to them.
You're a class act. You're a class act. Boys, congrats. One more time for the Los Angeles Guerrillas. They
Wait, was Spart really 0-14, dude? What? Because that was his MW run. What? He was on LAG and MW too, right? Was that his MW run? That's actually nuts. I didn't even know that. But yeah, no, dude. So obviously, we just saw them win and stuff. I'm super happy for Asim specifically because he's my fucking boy, and I love that guy obviously a lot. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man, like he doesn't. I don't think people realize how much work he puts in. We talked about that a lot. But just this like roster from like not only Asim, but like I feel like this isn't really talked about too much. But like, isn't it crazy? Isn't pretty crazy that Hook won like after the last 2 years? Like I feel like that's kind of like not looked at too much. Like, don't you think it's pretty nuts that Hook ended up winning? I feel like Hook had a pretty rough year last year in the sense of just like getting benched and getting traded and not like, you know, like things not going his way. And like he started on Dallas last year as a world champion. Then he got traded. Then he got kicked off of Dallas, traded to Dallas, benched right after on 100 Thieves. Like, you know, he like got then after that he doesn't play for the rest of the year. And then like all that stuff, like Hook won an MW. That's what I mean. But after last year though, like bro, he started Cold War as a Dallas Empire player who just won a world championship. He gets kicked off their roster in what, like one major? I feel like he got kicked off their roster after like one major. And then after that, like he goes to 100 Thieves. Things don't work out in 100 Thieves. He gets like kind of kicked off that roster and benched immediately right after that too. And then like, you know, he doesn't really get to play too much if I remember correctly last year. And then this year he gets on LAG, they start struggling, and then they kind of go through that, right? Like, I feel like that's pretty nuts. Like his win last year. Like he had a really fucking hard year last year, and he ended up still ended up getting a dub this year, which is pretty dope. Yeah, no, who fucked it up by doing the COVID test? Yes, for sure. But then he ended up getting benched for the rest of the season. He didn't just get benched for the rest of the season because of that COVID test. That's not the reason why. Like that, you don't just get benched for an entire season because you fuck up a COVID test. Like I'm sure there was other shit that the reason why, like but whatever it wasn't working. But I'm just saying, like his year last year was pretty fucking shit, in the sense of just like things not going his way. He made some mistakes himself. I'm not saying it was all against him. And even like Asim, bro. Like, bro, look at Asim too. Like, Asim went from being on Minnesota, playing pretty good in MW. Asim was pretty good in MW, right? And then that Minnesota team completely scraps their roster. They get rid of him. They send him to New York. New York ends up being him, Clay, Mac, and like in Hydra. They're a pretty good threat last year, right? Like they were pretty good. Like I know they had some ups and downs. Asim had a lot of family stuff and like personal stuff going on last year that he played through. And he ends up having a pretty good year. And then like kind of gets kicked from that team too, though. Like if you really think about it, New York didn't keep Asim, right? They kept Clay and Hydra. They got rid of Asim. They got rid of Mac and Asim. They could have kept them and they didn't. So New York says, get the fuck off our team. Like, we don't want you anymore. And then he's like, all right, fuck it. I'll go to a different team. Find someone that fucking wants me. You know what I mean? And then the same kind of thing like happens where, you know, here he is again on LAG. And like he puts like a fucking shit ton of effort into it. And he ends up winning. I don't know. It's pretty fucking cool. Like, I think, like, this whole team in general, like, obviously, Spart was just a sub, and, like, what his run kind of speaks for itself. But, like, just in general, this whole entire team is pretty nuts. So, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Even Slasher. You could talk about Slasher. I see you guys talking about it. Like, Slasher had the same kind of thing. Like, I don't know. It was nuts. Did that loss hurt a little bit more since FaZe was such a favorite to beat the underdog squad? No. Losing fucking sucks no matter who it is. What? I don't give a fuck if we lost to the last place team or the first place team or the second place team. Losing sucks. All that pressure of like, you know, just bit the power cord. No, she did not. But like, yeah, I don't know. Just in general, like the whole thing is fucking insane to me. Like it was a super deserved win. They played really, really well. But like, no, I saw it in the camera. She did not bite it, did she? I'll go back and check it. Make sure. I'd have to move her bed. I have to give her the bigger bed too, though. That bed's the one that the trainer gave us, but just like when we were testing her out, because like we needed stuff to like have for her because like they were coming from the trainers. But her new bed comes in today, so that's probably the last time she'll be on that one anyway. But she did. All right. Well, then I'm gonna have to move it. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. But yeah, I don't know. Just in general, dude, like the whole entire thing was pretty fucking nuts. Will Tyler be using a Vulcan Major 3? I don't even know if the Vulcan will be. If the Volk will be in, to be honest. I'm not sure. But, yeah, I was super happy for them. But, yeah, the whole pressure thing of, like, being the favorite and stuff is, like, dude, that's, like, all... That's people's talking points. That's, like, you don't actually feel that, bro. At least I, like... Being a competitor and stuff, like, you don't actually want... Like, if you actually feel that kind of pressure as a competitor, that's, like, an issue that you have to figure out yourself. Like, yeah, like that's something that you have to actually make sure you like. That's just narrative points. Yeah, like if you actually stand on stage and feel that pressure, that's an issue. Like that's actually a big issue. So that's like a whole nother, you know, thing. To be honest, man, I think out of FaZe in their own heads. Yes, dude. You know, back-to-back seconds, first place in the league. We're down super bad to the point where we're like, we're all in our own heads, bro. Things, yeah. It's pretty fucking bad for us, dude. Again, like, do not get me wrong. We have not been a complete team, but, like, we haven't deserved to win either of the majors, in my opinion. Like, dude, like, literally, we were a shitty S&D team. Even in Major 2 qualifiers, I'm pretty sure. Like, we weren't that good at S&D. Like, that was a known issue with our team. I'm actually going to tell you right now. And, here. Major 2 qualifiers. We were 2-5 in S&D in the Major 2 qualifiers. We sucked at Major 2 at Search and Destroy. That has nothing to do with being in our own heads. Like, we were just not a complete team. We got second place being a shitty S&D team. Like, that's not the end of the world. Like, obviously, it's still no excuse, but it's just what it is. I know people just like speaking to hear themselves like just speak sometimes because I don't know. But like, yes, being in our own heads is the farthest thing from that. That is the dumbest thing you could say. Roster change? Yeah, that's real people. I don't believe that that's an actual, like, that's obviously a troll. That's not even, like, dude, again, it sucks that we got back-to-back second places, and even, like, for my standards as a coach, I fucking can't stand getting second. I can't stand not winning. But, like, again, we're back-to-back second places, and we're first place in the league. We haven't been a complete team yet, and it sucks that we haven't been, and obviously that means our practice has to keep getting better and better. We have to keep getting better, like, you know, better as a team. But, like, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, that's just fucking insane. Do you think LAG will move gunless? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think, what do you think of that? Like, I don't, it's weird. So Spark came in to this roster, but like this LAG roster was actually starting to play pretty good in the qualifiers with Pierce. So it's like, it's kind of tough. Like, you can't not give Spart his chance after, but like they were looking really good with Pierce too. I honestly think like you kind of have to give Spart his chance now, you know? Like, I feel like you have to kind of do it, but it's just weird, dude, because I don't know. I guess you give Spart one event and see how it goes, maybe. Sunless said he has to wait for a surgery, so he might even be back for, oh, maybe, so that might be a thing anyway. It's gonna be scary when y'all figure it out. I mean, we've got some stuff figured out. We have to just get it all together, dude. Like, it's just, we're not getting everything together right now, and it sucks. And obviously, like, FaZe fans want us to win and shit, and I understand that. But, like, if you just adopt the attitude that everyone in this community has of, like, again, a shit ton of people in the chat and a shit ton of people just in general of just, like, fucking blow it up. You guys are in your own heads. You guys need a roster change. You guys fucking suck. How does it feel to get back-to-back second? Like, all those, like, really, 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 really dumb, stupid, not thought-out comments that people make. Like, if you adapt that mindset as a competitor, then what's the fuck of, like, why are you competing? You know, like, bro, like, you can't win them all. Obviously, you want to win them all. But, like, it's just, yeah, it's just like, bro, I also love this gimmick of NPC takes. But, like, that's what I'm saying. It's just, bro, like, we haven't been a complete team. Like, bro, we went to the finals of that tournament, and before we were a 2-5 S&D team, and then we went to Major 2. And in our Major 2 run, we went 3-4 at S&D, and 3 of those losses were in the finals. Like, we lost to a good S&D team. Like, dude, that was evident before we went there. We weren't a complete team. The way I view it right now is, like, as incomplete as we were, the fact that we're still getting second place is something to work off of. Bro, the whole, like, negative fucking mindset of, like, you know, all this shit of just, like, blow it up, make a change, you guys this, that. Like, to be honest with you, if anyone gave a fuck about those kind of comments, then everyone would have been retired by now. That's just what it is. It's just, I don't know. It's just, like, no one actually cares about that shit, dude. Why is FaZe not hosting a major? I don't know how that works. Champs will be the big dog to win. Of course, you always want to win champs. And again, these majors matter. We've talked about this. These majors matter a lot. But, like, at the end of the day, like, they're still seeding and stuff. Like, you still want to make sure you're doing good at them and getting better throughout the year and becoming a complete team. Last year, there was a few times where, like, we won, obviously, and we looked way more complete at times. And we haven't found that rhythm fully yet. But again, we're still not far off of finding that rhythm, is my point. Like, we're not far off from finding that rhythm. So it's not something that, like, you know, we have to overreact to and just throw fucking a shit fit about it and freak out. Like, we just have to keep finding, like, necessary changes to get better. And in my opinion right now with S&D, I think it's an individual thing where if we play the game mode more and we get better at the game mode, we'll be good at it and they'll help us. You know what I mean? There's better competition this year. There's going to be better competition every year. As the league goes on and as more as the league goes on and the more competition happens and the smarter organizations get with picking their rosters and the smarter organizations get of like getting like coaching and listening to these people and like getting different rosters and stuff, like it's always going to get more competitive. So like it's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's always gonna get more competitive. So yes, like of course, like this league is competitive, dude. People just don't understand. Like I don't think people understand how competitive this league really is. This is not back in the day where there was 2 good teams and everyone else sucked. This is not what it is anymore. Like it's just Pac has been smoking FaZe player in 8's SND. I love to hear that. Again, we sucked at SND. The players are gonna start playing SND and get better at it, dude. It's just what it is. But if you guys, the roster change comments are just too stupid to talk about, in my opinion, right now. That's like not even worth it. And then like, there's other things. I'm pretty sure I even saw a comment about like OpTic making a roster change or something, bro. Like, bro, everyone talking down on FaZe like every other team in the league has it figured out. I mean, again, bro, things could be much worse. Obviously, it sucks that we got back-to-back seconds. We haven't played the best. Again, we haven't been a fully complete team, in my opinion. But if we're getting second place and we look like such shit that everyone's saying to us, you know, that's pretty fucking crazy. We look like fucking shit and we're getting second place. Like, it's, again, doesn't mean we're going to keep getting second place. We have to put a lot more effort in and obviously become better and better so we can start getting wins and, like, obviously keep doing it. It's a grind. But I don't know. I just think people are fucking silly sometimes. What other teams could you see making a roster change? I think Minnesota's going to make one. I think Minnesota's going to make one after their like struggles. I don't know. I don't think any other team will really make one. I don't know if Toronto might. Toronto might, but I don't know. Maybe they might. I don't know. Again, if Toronto just starts winning Hardpoint, they're really actually a pretty fucking solid team. It doesn't seem like they can really get it down yet, but again, like I don't know how much you want to invest in them. So that's probably like how their vibes are behind the scenes kind of thing for Toronto. I think Minnesota's chalked, if you ask me personally. I think they're going to make a change. And then other than that, I don't really know. I think if a change happens or a trade happens or anything happens, maybe that will be a domino effect for like 2 or 3 other teams. Like maybe Paris makes another change if they can, you know what I mean? Like maybe at like, I'm not sure, but I think the team that's guaranteed is Minnesota, in my opinion. LA Thieves, again, like, yeah, like they might be on, like, that's more like LA Thieves and Toronto right now are how the vibe of the camp is behind the scenes. Like, you know, are they like really down bad where they have no faith in each other? Or like, is it just like little things? Like, I'm not too sure. But I definitely think Minnesota's down bad enough where they're gonna, I definitely think, speaking of roster change, what do you think about a talk of a change with Octane or Draza? Kind of what we're talking about. It really depends on how bad the vibe of the LA Thieves camp is. Like, do they actually have no faith? You know what I'm saying in that sense or not? I'm not too sure. But that's about going to wrap it up. I'm going to be live later tonight. We can talk about a lot of other stuff as well. And then go chill, play with Bear, and hang out for a little bit, especially with this time off. We're going to go have some fun